Welcome to everyone. I am ProfShrushtiRapelli, Assistant Professor, BCA Department from Hirachand Nemchand College of Commerce, Solapur. Today, we will see one of the important topic present in visual programming using C hash. Our topic name is Collection and Generics. So before going to collection, just I want to clear about the concept array. So what do you mean array? Array is a collection of elements having similar data type, and one of the drawback of array is that its size is a fix. That is, once we declare the size of the array, later on we cannot increment the size or we cannot decrement the size. So this is the main drawback of the array. So array is a static. Okay, so static means fixed. So there is a fixed size of the array once we define the size of the array. So to overcome this drawback, we have to use a collection in C hash. So what is a collection? So collection is a class which stores group of objects. In C hash, there are different kinds of namespaces are present for collection classes. So using collection, you can increment size of the collection, you can decrement the size of the collection. So collection name indicates that it contains group of objects. Yes, so it is a set of items which those items store in terms of objects. So normally in C hash, there are different kinds of namespaces present for collection. So that is I have represented in this slide. So there are three types of collection namespaces. So first namespace is a system.collections.generic. Second is a system.collection. Third is a system.collections.concurrent. So now we will see the difference between system.collections.generic and system.collection. So to next slide, I have represented description of system.collection.generic. So this namespace having a classes, that is a list, stack, queue, dictionary. We will see each concept in detail. So generic means what? Actually generic term is a common. Yes. So whenever we are declaring objects of these classes, so before object we have to mention a data type. So that data type which is known as a generic type. So here what happened, whenever we are adding the elements in a collection or in any collection classes, so the type of element which is checked with the type of the collection, whether that is of same type or not. If there is a mismatches, then it will give the immediately error. Okay, so here data types are checked very strictly. So there is a type safe for data type if we are using the generic type collection. Okay, so now to next slide. So I have represented detailed explanation of classes that is present in system.collections.generic. Yes, so first class is a list, second class is a dictionary. Now next classes are hash set, queue, stack, right? So as you observe here, after a class there is a data type. So which I have represented here T. T means what? Data type. This data type is known as a generic type, right? So now, so I am again going to before slide. So here see, what is a list? So list is a class which is present in system.collections.generic namespace. So list implement the dynamic array. So dynamic means what? Depending on requirement, we can increment size of the array or we can decrement the size of the array. So that's why it a name as a dynamic. Here all collection classes are the dynamic. Yes, at runtime you can change the size of the collection. So the one of the important feature of list is that it allow the duplications. Yes, so whenever we are adding a same element many times, so it will give output as it is. So it allow the duplications. Yes. So second is a dictionary. So what is a dictionary? So here you see there are two kinds of generic type. So first is a key type, second is a value type. So dictionary stores data in terms of key and value pair, right? So here key and value can be any data type, and while adding the data, so that data type should be matched with this mentioned key type and value type. And one of the feature of key is that key should be unique, yes, and value can be duplicated. Okay, so here data stored in terms of key and value pair. So now third concept is a hash set. So one of the important feature of hash set is that it only store the unique value. That is, it will not allow the duplications. For example, if we are adding the same element many times, so it will accept only one time. Yes, one value will show in a output if you are adding a duplicate values. Because one of the feature of set is that it only stores the unique value. No duplication elements allowed in a hash set, right? So normally in interview there will be one question frequently asked. Yes, so what is the difference between hash set and list? So that time you should tell that list allow the duplication, set do not allow the duplication. That is, set consists of unique value. One more difference is that so set is an unordered collection of data, but list is an ordered collection of data, right? Because according to given sequence, so same sequence of data will come in output if we are using the list. But in case of hash set, so do not come like this. Yes, whenever we are using a hash set, so what happened? So here ordering may be different. So according to given sequence, data will not come in output. Okay, so try to understand the concept. So now next concept is a queue and stack. So these are the concept of data structure. Yes, so same rule follow here. So what is a queue? So queue follows the first in first out data structure. Yes, and stack. So stack follow the LIFO principle, that is a last in first out, right? So related methods are present in a queue and stack. Yes, that is in a queue, so the element which come first which will go the last, and in stack the element which come first that will go the last, right? So for example, group of plates, the last plate we will remove first. Yes, so now we will see about the classes present in system.collections namespace. Yes, here is a no generic type. So some of the classes mentioned in this slide. So first class is a array list, second is a hash table, third is a queue, next is a stack. Yes, so here just you see queue, stack, same classes also present in system.collections like a generic, but some different class names are there. Instead of list, here is a array list. Instead of dictionary, here is a hash table. So these classes present in a system.collections. Here generic type no need to mention while declaring the object of these classes. So at last point, just you observe here, I have provided a note. Okay, what is that note? So mostly we are using a generic type collection, not a normal collection. Yes, why? Because generic type provide a type safety for a data, and it is a fast. And if you are using a system.collection classes, so accordingly, so performance is a very less, and it will not check the data types when you are adding the items. So explicitly you need a boxing and unboxing process. Okay, so now in this slide I have represented one of the program for array list, right? And this is not example of generic type. So this is a normal class that is present in system.collections namespace. Okay, so in this program what I did, initially I using namespaces system and system.collections. So you need to take these namespaces in order to taking all inbuilt classes present in this namespace, right? And execution always start from main, you know. So here is a first line, array list. Yes, so array list, for array list I have created a one object, that is a AL. Okay, so in this list I have added different elements, and just you observe here. So I've added some duplicate elements, that is a 3. So 3 I've added 2 times, right? And I've iterated a loop. So using a loop I've printed every element. So to right side, just you observe here. So 3 appear 2 times. That is one of the important feature of list is that it allows the duplications. Yes, whenever you are adding the duplicate elements, so same data appear in output, right? So now to next slide, I have represented example for generic type. So you observe in this example. So at start, again I am using the generic namespace system.collections.generic. So you have to use it before using classes present in generic. Yes. So now again execution start from main. So here again I have created a list object. Yes. So whenever I am declaring list object, so before a variable, before a object, so I have provided here int. That means only you can add integer elements. Only you can add integer objects. If by mistake I am adding a double type element, so it will not allow. Yes, already I said that here data types are matched with whatever we are adding a data. Yes, if mismatches is there, so it will give the error. So only we have to add integer elements. Again using loop, I have printed every element. And again you see, so list, array list have a same property. So that is it allow the duplications. So duplicate element came here in output. To you observe to right side. So right side I have indicated a output, right? So one of the important feature of list is that wherever you are taking list or you are taking array list, so duplications are allowed, right? So now again one more example I have represented here for hash set. So you observe here in a hash set I have added duplicate elements, right? So here one is duplicated actually, but in output you observe here, so only it printing the unique elements. So it's not allowing the duplicate elements, right? So normally hash set is present in generic namespace only. Okay, so not present in normal system.collections.namespace, right? So one of the feature of hash set is that it only allow the unique value. It will not allow the duplications. Okay, so there may be ordering sequence can be changed. Okay, so at present ordering sequence not changed, but many times actually there may be ordering sequence may be changed, right? And again using a loop I have iterated and I have printed every element. And just before a loop, just you observe here, so I have printed a hs.count. That means it giving the size of the hash set. Actually I am adding 3 elements, right? I have added 3 elements, but the count it's showing the 2 because it's not allowing the duplications. So such a question may appear in aptitude level test, right? So you should prepare accordingly. So now according to interview points, so all these points are important. Okay, interviewer asks, so what is the difference between array and list? So that time you should say that array has a fixed number of elements, and all collection classes, by using all collection classes you can change a size of the collection. Okay, so list is a dynamic, dictionary, hash set, queue, stack, overall are the dynamic, and list allow the duplication. Again dictionary store data in terms of key and value. Okay, then hash set, the feature of hash set is that it store only unique elements, and queue follow the FIFO principle. So it follow the arrival order, right? And stack, so stack which is specifically used in undo operation. So recursion programs, backtracking program. Okay, so according to interview, so all these concepts are important. And to last side I have represented e-material links for C hash. Yes students.